Okay. Okay. Yes. Thank you for having me. You mean in what area or what do you mean? What do I want to work on? So sorry, but the question, so what do I want to work on? Okay. Okay. So the topic I was thinking to discuss is my sleeping habits. Exactly what we touched upon earlier. Yeah. So I'm not sleeping enough. I'm struggling with that, and that makes me just very tired at work and so on. I always have too much to do, and I feel like I never have enough time for the sleep. So that's my basic issue, and I would really like to work on, yes, on a plan, on a tangible plan, on something that I can actually implement straight away, and to make this better, easier. So before, depends. It depends on my life. How to say, life period. So I had periods in my life before, especially if I live with somebody. Let's say when I lived before with my parents, or if like I used to be married when I was with my husband, then we had a different schedule and we had a schedule together. So I was kind of forced to go to bed on time because when you live with someone, usually you go to bed on time. Or when, for example, when my mom and dad are visiting me, then it's the same. We go to bed earlier because they always go to bed around 10, 11 o'clock. And also that when they are here, then I have to sleep in the living room on the sofa, so the, the light comes in, and I'm really forced to go to bed early on, so I know that I can sleep till it gets light. So yeah. So but in the recent time, there is one more element, which is I'm taking on much more next to my job, so I have a lot to do. Yeah, and I tend to do it at night. Yeah, so it's the coaching course is one right now. That's a recent one. But before that, I was doing my design thinking and innovation course, the postgrad diploma with MIT, and that has not finished yet. So, for example, today half a day I spent on that. It's only 2 more weeks. Also, so I'm doing that course, I'm doing this course, and apart from that, I'm doing exercise almost every day because I feel like sitting in the office 8 hours at work, I need to compensate that, and especially living in this area of the world, we don't walk, we sit in the car all the time, so I need to fit in an hour every day to exercise. And also I'm working on the, I think I mentioned yesterday actually, the creative a creative camp recharge retreat in Sri Lanka in May for Eid. So that has been a lot of time in the last 3 weeks. Because I'm so passionate about that, I don't realize what time it is. So sometimes I realize it's 2:30 a.m. and I know I have to get up the latest at 7 to go to work. And then I know already in the evening I feel a bit guilty and strange. I already feel like, oh, that's so stupid. Why am I still up? But then my brain is still busy. So I go to bed and I can't sleep properly. And I'm just keep on being up. So yeah. Hmm. Can I say one thing? Can we talk before about the motivation? Because it's also not so clear about with me about the why it's important and so on before going on to the to the next. Because I think the awareness we did, but the motivation why it's important and the impact, because that first really is what I think I need to be clear about that. And I have ideas, of course. So in a way, the way it's impacting me. So let's say the issue is really it's not even the not getting enough sleep. It's more the not going to bed on time. I think that's what we need to tackle because once that's tackled, then the rest will fall into place. So the way I feel right now is like I'm always tired, and I know that my brain capacity is not the same as when I can sleep, have a good sleep. So I have headaches. Also, just at work, it's just the communication. I need to really focus on what I need to say, especially it's in English. Still, even if it's not our native language, so for me, because it's not my native, there is still a big difference when I'm tired. I might not find the right words. And in my work, it's important to be on top. Like I'm a manager, I need to make sure I lead by example. I'm not tired, and I'm there fully. And also, it impacts my exercise routine actually. So many times I don't actually get my exercise because in the morning I like to do it sometimes in the morning, but I'm not able to get up at 6 to do my exercise. And then with the coaching school, I cannot do it in the afternoon either. So now in the last 3 4 days during the week, not at the weekend, it just slipped. I just could not do it. Um, and that is a vicious cycle because then it impacts my quality of sleep. If I don't move, I don't sleep well. I can't go to bed on time. So the whole thing is affected. Um, so I would say it's cognitive performance mostly, and the lack of exercise as a result of it. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Um, well, of course, I think just the feeling of waking up fresh and waking up in a way that I like. My ultimate goal would be to wake up without an alarm clock. To wake up at let's say 7 o'clock without an alarm clock and waking up fresh, like I had enough sleep and just being able to start the day not in a way that oh my god I just want to stay in bed another 2 hours, but actually waking up in a way that okay I'm ready and yeah I feel like it's just really what I need to do is shift those few hours that I'm doing in the evening to the morning. Ideally I would love to wake up at 6 and start my day 7. I can say maybe my interim goal can be but later to shift it because I'm aware if you read we read a lot about these things. It's the brain is actually we are meant to wake up kind of 6 7ish, start our day and we should go to bed before midnight always or before 11 to have some sleep before midnight. Yeah. So yeah, what would motivate me is really I think the feeling of having energy, more energy, and so being able to be I know the difference because I know when my parents were here and I went to bed on time I could do much more at work. much more organized, focused, because also when you're sleepy, it's just very difficult to focus. And I tend to just, okay, I respond to this email, that email, and I keep the things which actually need a lot of thinking, I keep them on the side for another day. And then sometimes I end up doing them between 2 p.m. to 5 or 6 p.m. because I realize that the day just went by, doing the little things, but I haven't actually progressed on my big things. So it's my afternoon, but that means I stay at work later, and then again, the whole day shift, you know? Hmm. Yeah. Hmm. I think it will help, but I don't think that's the only solution, because I have to tell you, it's not just that. So now I'm saying it's these things, but it's kind of an issue mostly, unless I have somebody forcing me or being around. I just fiddle around. So now I have this, so I'm spending it in a useful way. But somehow it's just in me. I need to work on this motivation. Like what you said is really true. I think I need to link it with the pleasant feeling of waking up fresh, and to somehow implement some kind of routine, some kind of habit which makes me do it. Because the problem is that it's kind of, the benefits come later on. You need to do this in a consistent manner for a few days and weeks to actually get back on track, to feeling actually refreshed and so on. um, yeah, so for me, I think, yeah, the course will help because I will have a little bit more time. But in general, even now, I should be able to do it. I feel like it's the solution, whatever is the solution. I think it shouldn't depend on what I have on. It should be a basic rule for me to go to bed on time. Hmm. Yeah. Hmm. So in terms of conditions, I think one important thing is not to start doing things which are important and need my brain after a certain time, to actually wind down. So instead of doing like business type of things and planning, which makes you really excited and makes you want to do more, instead of that, I think I need to just read my books, and that's it. And also put my phone down. I need to make sure I don't have screen time before bed, because we know, based on research, how bad it is. Even if I don't use the blue light, it's also making our brain kind of go everywhere, I think, and just the screen itself. uh, so I think the most important part would be one thing, not to do, as I said, the creative things before going to bed, not to make my my brain go creative too much, and also no phone in, like, let's say an hour before I want to go to bed, for both of these things. I'm already really good in nutrition, but I do realize that sometimes, since I'm working on this project, uh, I've been eating like sweets in the evening, and that is awful, because then I cannot sleep. I'm really different in this. Most people are okay. Like my mother can eat anything before bed. I cannot have a big meal or any carbohydrates before, like 2 hours before sleep. So I need to get back on track with that. Mostly I'm okay, but 2 hours before I should not eat anything with sugar and stuff, uh, like carbs. Uh, so that means, yeah. So, I feel like I need to work backwards in my schedule in terms of when I need to have dinner, probably I just need to have a better routine overall for my evening to make sure that I have to shuffle around things. For example, in the last hour, that last hour I could just easily use, to prepare my gym clothes, to prepare my clothes, to iron. So the preparation for the next day, which I actually tend to do straight after work. So I come home, then I straight after gym and so on, I quickly straight away I'm preparing my gym bag, I'm preparing my clothes, but that could be really done later, before bed, because that's a typical activity which is more like winding down and just moving around a bit. So I think the prep could go later, and instead of that I should come home and like whatever, have dinner and then have assigned 2 hours, let's say, for those creative things on my project. Let's say now it's a bit different because we have our course until 8 p.m. But then I could still have, well, maximum an hour and a half for my projects till 9:30, let's say. And then I should make sure that after 9:30, whatever happens, I close down my laptop, I close down my phone, my internet, and I focus more on getting ready for bed and next day and read, because that will tackle my reading thing. I have the same as you with the reading as well. Yeah. Yes. So actually, I got an alarm clock, but I got an alarm clock for that reason from home. But then the battery is not working, so I can't trust it, unfortunately, because if there is no electricity. Anyway, that will be fixed. I want to get an Echo, an Amazon Echo. They have a new one with an alarm clock, but right now it's sold out. So I want to have an AI where actually you can take your phone and leave it outside, and I can just talk to my AI. So I don't need screen. I can just say, because the thing is, by not having the phone, I'm sure, I don't know if you're the same, but many times in the evening something comes to my mind and I just want to put it in my notes. Or I want to check my calendar for the next day. You're like winding down and, oh, what time is my first meeting? Oh, what is tomorrow? So I feel like if I had an Echo, then I could actually just, like when you're there in bed reading and something comes to your mind, then I could just ask Echo, what do I have planned for tomorrow? It's like a little assistant, but you don't need the phone. Because once you start the phone, it's easy to get into other things as well. So easily, and everyone is WhatsApping, and like, and all those things, they are not urgent. Most of them are not urgent. Yeah. So I think maybe, but before I'm getting the Echo, because it's actually sold out all over the world. Everybody wants this because it's amazing to have the clock, the alarm. I think it's really nice. It's not just a loudspeaker, smart speaker, but you have the clock. So many people, I think, by now are trying to keep away the phones from the bedroom. So but you need the clock. So anyway, so I think that's why it's so popular. But before having that, I think as a minimum, I should just be able to move my phone at least away from the bed, like in the bathroom or just away from me, somewhere where I can still hear the alarm. Hmm. 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 Well, I will know by going to bed. So for me, I think a target should be to get to bed by 11. I mean, to sleep by 11, because, like getting up at 7. So let's say that would be already or 6:30. So to have my 8 hours. So how would I feel? Of course, I know that it will not be from one day to the next, but it takes some weeks to actually re-get my, just pay my sleeping debt, pay it back, and to get back the hours of sleep and energy. Yeah, I know that it will feel really nice, and I mean I've experienced it before, and it's easy to track. I also think I need to do what I mentioned to you yesterday about a log. I used to do that actually, to actually write down what time I go to bed every day. So to see, like next to my bed, put a small notebook where I put the time when I actually got to bed, and then I can read or do whatever. But to make sure that, let's say, that happens by 10:30, I should do that the latest. But I think if for now I aim for 10:30, that's kind of realistic. And I could have half an hour of reading and so on. And actually, I don't. That's the thing. I don't know why I'm not doing it, because I know that when I read, then after a few pages, I'm totally sleepy and I will sleep much better. I just don't do it because I need to just really connect it with, like what we said, just really feel it that it will be much better for me. Mhm. 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 Yeah. Yeah, I had it before. Yeah, I used it before. The aeroplane mode doesn't work for me. I put it on aeroplane mode and then 10 minutes later, ooh, I want to do this. And then I just get it again and do it. So I feel like for me, I need to put it away. Like I really need to be completely clear on 9:30 every day to, just put it on aeroplane mode, or just take off whatever, turn off the mobile and the Wi-Fi, because I like to keep my phone in case there is anything with my family, or, you never know. Mm. And then I'm always worried about people not reaching me, like mostly my parents. If you never know, they are getting old. So I just want to make sure that they always reach me. For that reason, I can only at least keep the phone on. Yeah. So yeah, I think the solution is probably to really take it, even if it's just on another, on another cupboard, because I'm not gonna go and get it. That's for sure. Once I'm already reading and so on, and to maybe have a notebook next to my bed, to put down the log for what time I go to bed, and also any notes, because anything, if I need to remember next day something, to get it out of my head, to put it on the little notebook, even if it's like one that I can just tear off in the morning and take it with me. So instead of getting the phone, because that's why I usually need it. Or if I have to check something, maybe I just need to note it down, check timing of this meeting in the morning. So I can just check it when I get to work. Yeah, so I'm doing chamomile tea nowadays, which helps a lot. So I always, whenever I drink chamomile tea, it's better, and I'm doing it most of the days, except for when it's very. That's the problem again. When it's too late, I'm just lazy to. Like 2 a.m., I will not, but I should. So When I'm doing my normal routine, I do that. And if I get hungry, I just have peanut butter because they say that's okay to have protein, something that's kind of just a small bit of and filling. But I don't drink milk. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, maybe I could get a kettle in my room. Could be. Like in a hotel room. I can create a hotel room. But also, Mohammed, also I think if I have this routine to go to bed earlier and the whole thing, if I by 9:30 I shut off my devices, then I should have the time for all this to get my water, to get my tea, to prepare my gym, all the things in an hour. That's a lot of time. So I could just do all that from 9:30. I really think I just need to have this cutoff point. Yeah, although they say, yeah, there's a lot of talk about willpower nowadays in all these podcasts about there was a book I read about it, and yeah, you really need to link it with something, but it's linked to me. I do think that even if you want to ask me every week about this, that will help. Because if you ask me how many times did I manage to go to bed by 10:30, then I will be very very sad if I have to tell you I didn't. you know? Yes, yes. Tonight I have to. Mm. I could, but I really think the 9:30 should work because I just feel like it's a time when we should not do any more work anyway. Our brain is tired by 9:30. In my opinion, it's not a productive time really. Usually things just take longer, and you get into that zone when, yeah, if I'm up until 10, then I just feel alert. That's because I think between 9 and 10, 11, that's our bedtime usually. That should be the biological rhythm. So I feel if I miss that, then it's too late, and I get on the other extreme, which is I'm not tired anymore, so I can just go on for another 4 hours. So yeah, let's try with the 9:30, because if I get ready earlier, that just means more reading, which would be another benefit. You know. Uh, yes, a little bit, but I think for me, my motivation is usually it's more if I promise it, and let's say really for me it works. If you ask me every week how many times, and I can show you my log, how many times it's a tick, it motivates. I'm like this, and I'm gonna tell my flatmate also. This is how I am. I'm good with having buddies on telling them. And then they ask me, and then I'm like, oh well. Yeah, I'm gonna ask my flatmate. She will know because she knows this is an issue. And the light, that's okay because I have a lot of different lights, so I usually don't make it very bright. Even in the evening, it's kind of, yeah, that's fine. I think the reading lamp is very bright though. But if you want to read, you need to have that. I even have that little one, to the clip-on one actually, but not as good as the proper one. No, I think it's more. If I read, I will be sleepy for sure. Unfortunately, because you know I'm reading The Flow, by the way, but I'm reading it in Hungarian this month because Csikszentmihalyi is Hungarian. But I was really disappointed to find out that actually he originally wrote it in English. So I bought it in December in Hungary because a friend of mine recommended it to me a long time ago, and I was like, okay, I will get it. I saw it on the bookshelf, and I was like, it's great to read it in the original language. And then I got to know that he even has a foreword only for Hungarians, in which he's talking about how happy he is that finally it got translated to Hungarian. Anyway, oh, reading, yeah. But it's basically a little bit like you. There is another book I started before, and when I was in Hungary in December, I read two books. But then I started one on the plane, and it's no, actually, I started one still in Hungary in early January. And since I came back, I did not read more than 5 pages. But I mean, sorry, but I read this at the weekend, last weekend, 50 pages at the pool last weekend because I wanted, but my goal was to read the whole thing before the coaching because I thought it would be a really good basis to read what the flow is about. But yeah, that's it, my plan. Mhm. I think an important aspect is that I need to consider this as my routine. Let's say I should target it for 90% of the cases because I know it will not be possible all the time. But I should not be. I think it's important not to be too hard on myself. Let's say sometimes at the weekend we go out with friends. So I know already, actually, this Monday, I know I'm going to go to a house party and I know that I'm going to be there till like 2 a.m. So I just need to make sure that there are some exceptions. But Tuesday is a national holiday here, so that's why there is a party with friends. Uh, so yeah, that's okay because I can have my sleep. But what I wanted to refer to actually is also holidays and special times. I think usually I sleep through after those. When in holiday, let's say in Europe, uh, I would go to bed on a normal time, but there is a 2 hour difference time zone, not much. But what happens usually, I come back and I keep with that time because the 2 hours, because I'm alone, I don't have the family pressure anymore. I come back and then I spend that extra 2 hours, which means going to bed late. So I think what's important for me to sustain, I think now I'm okay for February, March, April. April, my parents are coming, but maybe are going on holiday, and then jet lag and everything. And then when my parents leave mid-May, I think that's when the difficult part will come for me, because that's when it's important for me to keep it, even after holidays and so on, to get back on track as soon as possible, not wait and have the jet lag influence it and use it as an excuse basically, but to actually get back to the 9:30 cutoff point for devices and everything. I think if we talk about like the atomic habits from yesterday, for me really that is the triggering point, that 9:30 to turn off the phone in whatever capacity to make sure there is no more internet and it's away from me, because I know that all the rest I'm not gonna be able to fiddle around with anything else really. So anything else will not mean a lot of time, even if I'm doing a lot of little things. And that will really help with the reading as well, which is also one of my aims, just like for you, to read more and, to have more of that time with myself, actually. Yeah. Mm. Yeah, recently I have thought about that because in this week, especially when I thought, that I'm so tired and I felt like instead of doing those 2 3 hours in the evening, let's say, let's say 2 hours between 11 and 1, I could just go to bed at 11, wake up at 6, and do it in the morning and then be fresh. I was thinking about that, but right now, still, I feel like I first need to be able to go to bed on time. So the thing is that, yes, I know it would be better for me. I could still do an hour and a half in the evening, uh, if I have to, because I'm starting this creative camp, and with that, I know that there will be daily things. So if people contact me, I need to respond on the same day. I'm not going to wait till next day because it's important. Um, so yeah, I feel like I can probably think of different things to be done in the evening than in the morning, and keep the morning more for the very creative thing, more the planning part when it's more the brain, and keep the evening more for responding and just the things which you have to do on the daily basis if you have to. And I also feel like maybe 2 hours would be too long in the morning, because I need to get to work. But if I could just get into at least 1 hour, that's already in the morning, you're more fresh. So I'm sure I could do it more efficiently than I'm doing it in the evening. From like 6 to 7 and then get to work by 8. So that means the whole day is better in a way. But it would be difficult. I would need to make sure that I'm only spending it on that and nothing else in the morning. Yeah. Yeah, I think it goes. Yeah. Yeah, it goes both ways, I think. So actually, that's what I did when my parents were here, because when they were here, as soon as I came back from work, I mean, I was trying to get back from work as soon as possible so we can do things together. And I went to the gym in the morning. So I got up at 6 every day to be in the gym by 7, to start my session at 7, and get home on time after. So that's another option, another routine, to shift it that way. But either way, I think my ideal wake up time that I want to aim at would be 6. Whether I start with exercise or whether I go straight to work early and then, or do my creative thing in the morning, whatever I do between 6 and 8, that doesn't matter. But I should use that in a productive way. Yes. So and yes, exactly, I know also that what happened then, I started to get up at 6 regardless of how tired I was. I just made myself get up at 6, doesn't matter when. But again, there was this little body being bodies, that my parents were here. So I told them, okay, in the morning I'm going to the gym. So I didn't want them to find me here still at 8 o'clock. So at 6, I got up and I went. For me, I really need that many times because it really motivates me. I don't know why I have this. I think it's just being really proud. If I said something, I just want to make sure I do it. Probably. And maybe they should just be here all the time, and I would be proper have a proper cycle. Not really, to be honest. Most of my colleagues, they have kids, so they go to bed on time, and they wake up early, 5 o'clock usually, because the school here starts at 7. I'm not sure how Oman is, but yeah, the day start very early, and the kids go to bed at like 7 o'clock here, like really early. So for them, yeah, they have a routine, I think, a better routine than me. And also, they don't work on other things. They don't study. They don't work on other projects. They just do work and kids. And which is, I'm sure, it's still a full time. It's another full time job to have kids. So, but what I mean that they don't have usually that creative other part. They have to be creative with the kids, I guess, and the family management. But none of them have. None of my friends actually here do any of that, like the business. I have one friend who has businesses, but she is doing that full time, so she doesn't go to the office. So she can do her creative part all day long. So she's fine. Yeah, that's my aim at some point. I know this is not. I also think it's not sustainable to do it very long. To do, but for me this is the time, the transition. I think it's similar than for you when you mentioned that you are trying to create kind of or exit plan from the office to move more to a more independent way of working, and working for a bigger purpose, like to find that purpose and to work for me in this creative camp. It's really more about getting together 10, 15 people and get in the flow state more, and like as many times as we can. We will do jewelry making, we will do making masks, the Sri Lankan mask, wood carving and the painting. These are all activities which takes 3-4 hours of continuous work, where you actually really have the opportunity to close out the word and just focus on that activity. And it has to be, as it says in the flow book, it has to be challenging enough. It cannot be something easy, but something realistic, something you can do, but you need extra to do it, to learn. And it's so that's why I want to learn about this a lot, to be able to create the environment for that type of work there. And so what I wanted to say with this, that for me, because I'm really passionate about this, that's why this is happening. It's not something that I have to do this. No, it's something I want to do. And I also feel like once I can create my work to be like that during the day, I can do all these things I love to do. Then I will have the evening free to do whatever, reading more. And I don't even think we can stop if we are like this. If we are more like wanting to learn, then we will always find things to do. Yeah, I think one thing that I really like, and it could be possible now, but I'm not doing it. When the weather is nice, I love to have breakfast on the balcony. Just being outside a little bit. There are two things actually. That is one, and the other one, I used to go for a swim in the morning, just down in the sun, at the pool. So at my old apartment, but it's possible here also. I used to get up at 6 or 6:30 and go down for a half an hour swim and then a bit of sunshine, and it really helped my days. because first of all you're really motivated to get out, not when it's so cold, probably in a month, but now it's a bit cold. But from probably end of February, uh, even now, because the water is warm, actually they heat it. So that is one thing I could do. I could do swimming, not even if not every day, but let's say every second day, like Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, let's say, in the mornings. And the other thing, because that would, or whatever, maybe. So the problem is that right now the exercise I'm doing it every day, and I think I probably need to reduce that and have this other type of time instead, because that takes, even if it's an hour every day, it's still an hour. So if I do maybe actually do that Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, then I could do at least Monday and Wednesday mornings as a swimming home, which is then my exercise is done for the day in the morning already. So another option, as I said, is like, yeah, this kind of tackles the same as the breakfast in the balcony thing, because I feel like we don't see the sun here. By the time we get back from work, there is no more sun. The sun sets very early here in the Middle East. So the only time I can get sun during the week is in the morning. So I think at least if I could do, two times the swimming in the morning like I used to do, that will help a lot with those days. And if I do my exercise in the morning on the other days, then I will get up at 6, because I know if I book the session, then I will go. It's the same, because you have to, if you book it, you cannot cancel it only just an hour, like until an hour before. So if I wake up, I'm going. If I know I have it booked. But what happened last week, because I was up till so late, at 2 a.m., I looked at my phone and I was like, no way I can get up at 6. So I'm just going to delete my session, cancel my session, because I cannot. I cannot. It's actually even dangerous to jump around when you're really tired, and for injuries. Sorry, it's a very long answer, but mhm, yeah, mhm, mhm, yeah, mhm, yeah, mhm. Okay, great. Yeah. Hmm. By taking, oh yeah, but I cannot. That's something, unfortunately, I mentioned to you. Yes. Yeah, but I believe there are two types of people, and I've been doing my individual research amongst friends. There are people who can sleep anytime, anywhere, and they can just get to bed during the day and sleep half an hour easily, and they go to deep sleep and they have a great nap. Or some, actually, there are some who can even go on for till the next day if they could, if they don't set an alarm. Some others, like me, I just cannot sleep during the day. If I go and try to have a nap, it means struggling, and it takes an hour and a half till maybe I kind of start to fall asleep. Then I have to get up and I feel really grumpy and really tired, and I feel like I'm so slow and my brain doesn't function. I can't speak. No, it's I've tried. That is not a solution for me. Unfortunately, I know I read a lot of research about it too. They say ideally you should have a half an hour nap every day. It has a lot of benefits, but not for me. For me, I need to sort it within the night, my sleeps. But Mohammed, I think that was a very good point though about the morning, to make the mornings nicer. And I also feel that many times, because I go to bed late and the whole process, my mornings are rushed. And I used to when I used to live alone, but again I could do it here too, because my flatmate leaves really early. She starts work at 6 something, so she has to leave early. So I could still do my mornings just nicer, because what I started to do, I'm making my breakfast and I take it with me to work and I have it in front of my computer. So instead of that, I could just, because it doesn't take long to make some scrambled eggs. Like, come on, it takes 2 minutes. I know it. So I should just, go back to my routine of getting up, making my breakfast, getting ready, having my time, instead of just rushing out of the door. Either that, or like I said, the swimming or exercise in the morning, because I find that does save time though. So if, because that means in the morning is just 2 minutes to get ready, get out of the door, maybe 10 minutes, and then go drive. And the gym is straight next to my work, so I'm already doing the driving. The traffic is better also at 6, so it's kind of saving time. And then I do my gym, and I'm already around the office, so there is no stress around getting to work on time, because since I'm already there 2 minutes away, and I have then I can just get ready there. And so by 8:30, I'm in the office for sure. And for us, we just have to get into work by 9. So it's okay. It's a flexible 8 hours, whether you start earlier or later. Um, so yeah, so I need to think about, or I need to actually just try those different options. But I think for me, what will really work is doing, yeah, probably I need to shift the exercise to the morning, whether it's the gym, whether it's swimming when the weather is nice, to get the sun. And then maybe my creative time then could come in the afternoon, earlier. Not now with this course, but even with this course, I could still have an hour at least before the course and an hour after the course on my other things. And later, when we don't have the course, then I have those 2 hours actually. Mhm. Mhm. Yeah, yeah. It's For me, for me, it would create. I feel like it would create a health issue because long term, we know that sleep deprivation is causing health issues, cardiovascular, all kinds, cognitive. Um, I don't feel it right now, but I know that it would come long term, and this is why because you don't feel it straight away. That's why it's kind of like a silent killer, just like air pollution. There are some things which we don't recognize, and they are there around us, or bad nutrition sometimes for people. They just continue for 20 years, and so yeah, I know. Yeah, I thought about it, of course, and yeah, yeah, I need to change it. It's not sustainable. So yeah, yeah, I know, and I do feel like that in the mornings. I have to get up after 4 hours sleep. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. And Mohammed, just to summarize, I really liked it. I think it kind of happened again similarly to yesterday that I really love this flow about we are exploring different options, and sometimes some options sound compelling, sorry, and then when we move on, then some others sound even more compelling. They more resonate with us. And I think it was similar yesterday for you when we were talking about the reading for kids and reading itself and so on, and the book club. And then at the end, you got to the book summary type of solution instead of the book club, for example. So for me, I think when we talked about doing my creative things in the morning, I think it sounded good, but by now I feel like it will not. And like what we said now is much more, I think, what I should be doing or what I can sustain, which is starting with the exercise, get that out of the way. It will make my days more efficient instead of the getting ready and everything in the morning. It will all be between 6 and 8:30. It's all done. And I'm at work on time, which also tackles another issue of sometimes being late from work. I have a lot of these things to me. I'm a good subject for coaching. So but it's the whole package about the daily routine. It's the whole thing. It's the cause and effect of each thing is impacting the other one, and each day is impacting the next day. So yeah. So for me, I think what I need to really what is my task plan, my plan for from tonight is to get to bed at 9:30. No, sorry, 9:30. 9:30. Switching off internet and gadgets. I'm just taking notes. Internet and gadgets. By 10:30 to get to bed. So to read and whatever I want to do, and have a notebook next to me with a log of what time I went to bed, which I'm gonna report back to my flatmates and you if we are still gonna be coaching buddies. I can send you a weekly update. I'm actually thinking to extend my log to do two things in it. I'm going to have two columns. I'm going to have the days, and I'm going to have the bedtime, what time I got physically into the bed, and how much I read, if I read or not, and how much. Or like time, or, like 30 minutes, not pages, it doesn't matter, but just how much I managed to read. So, because those are both important. So, I'm going to make sure I have like a coaching buddy. And the other things, so I will have this 9:30, 10:30 control points, and I will have the 6 a.m. get up. I have a session booked for tomorrow morning, so I'm just gonna go ahead with it. And I know that if I go to bed at 10:30, I will be able to easily get up at 6, so it's fine. You know. And my other thing is that I'm going to try and to switch it up a bit, like to do Mondays and Wednesdays swimming, so I get also the sun and the brightness outside. Hmm. Yeah. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. Yes. And I really feel good about it. I really feel like it's something I can do. And I also think it's really not about scheduling those creative times, because they will come. So if I have, once I have this schedule in place, I will be more fresh, more cognitively, and I will have more time after in the afternoon and so on, and more time when I'm actually not tired. So it will be also more efficient. So yeah. Okay. Thank you very much. Yeah, I think for a coaching session that is perfect. So I feel like that's how I would want to get away with after a session, to have a plan and that's it. And overall, maybe if you do you want to discuss some feedback? I think yes. Okay, you can stop the recording, no? Or you already have.